So about a week ago, Christian came to me and showed me this video that he saw about a guy making a ramen with German ingredients, and he called this his German ramen.
Basically, I thought this guy's video was really cool, and I not only wanted to make my own ramen, but if I could make another ramen that was like based on another culture. And I knew that Victoria's channel would be a good place to do something like that. Out of any culture that we decided, Mexican was kind of the shoe-in, because we have a Mexican grocery store just down the street from us that we've shopped at like our whole lives, at least all the time that we've lived here. And we're both a quarter Mexican, so.
We've always been surrounded by not only Mexican culture, but the food is a big part of it. So knowing the ingredients and knowing what can be done to make this ramen in the first place was kind of a no-brainer.
So the guy's video I watched, he was inspired himself by another guy, YouTube channel, The Way of Ramen, that explained there's basically 5 areas of making a proper authentic bowl of ramen. And that is the soup, the tare, which is kind of like a seasoning or slash flavor that you add to the soup, the noodles, the toppings, and then lastly, aroma oil, just kind of like some aromatic, delicious kind of oil that you put on top of the whole thing. Because Victoria makes a lot of pozole, we basically knew that the soup base was going to be a chile adobo. And then yesterday, we went to our local Mexican grocery store to find topping stuff. Because besides like the Mexican flavors in the soup, I really wanted to make this a full Mexican flavorful experience. So basically just like, So basically just like Mexican flavors on top of the bowl.
Yeah, what are we getting, Christian?
I was gonna look for coconut sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Queso cotija for the elote corn. This is $7.
Yeah, we'll see.
Look at the other stuff. Probably gonna be like.
Yeah, in a bag. Wow, what a crazy and interesting drink.
I really wanted to go all out with this, but Victoria did find like a sort of shortcut method.
And there we go. We already have our Mexican ramen. It was still in my throat.
We have Mexican.
You want to try?
I'll try. I hate tapatio though. Like it sucks. Like it tastes bad. Who is this? Hello, grandmother. No, it tastes like some like weird chemical cleaner.
It kind of does.
I always liken things that taste bad
like,
to cleaners, but it's because they do. They taste like chemicals.
It kind of tastes like nail polish remover.
So basically, that's everything. We're gonna get started with all the various parts of this ramen bowl. These are, I think, basically all of the Mexican ingredients that are going to go into this thing. This is pork al pastor, and I thought it would be great for a topping if I could cook this up. When you make like a proper al pastor, you put it on a spit, and those are just kind of like thin steak-like pieces that you put on the spike, and then you put like pineapple on like either end. And that's fantastic, but I bought this instead, which is not that. I'm gonna have to cook this up more like street taco style on like a griddle. But actually, before even that, the first order of business is removing the skin off of these chicken legs I picked up. Basically, I need to render the fat from these. If you've ever heard of chicken schmaltz, that's exactly what I'm gonna make. Meanwhile, Victoria's still slurping that tapatio.
ramen.
All right, that's one. Victoria, I think when you're making your chile adobo, you should make it less, like, not less flavorful, but like less seasoned than you would normally, because we're gonna use the tare and all the Japanese flavor in it to give a lot of salty seasoning to the whole thing.
So I finished chopping my ingredients, and now I'm just going to put the garlic. I don't char the garlic because that's just way too much work. And then I'm going to char this onion, just putting it straight on the burner. I think that charring the onion is really important because it just brings a whole lot of flavor to it. See, that nice char on the side is really what you're looking for. So now we can start with these, which they've had a pretty good amount of time to soak and get really soft. So typically I would take the seeds out first, but I've been kind of lazy recently, so you cut them open, and then they're soft enough to where you can just peel them out. I think it's okay if you get some seeds in on it. It's just going to make it spicier, of course. And then you use some of this water. It's supposed to have the consistency of like pancake batter. See, when the adobo is done, you have to strain it. It's very spicy. You can feel it almost like cutting an onion, where like it makes your eyes water, but a lot worse.
That smells fantastic.
It smells amazing, and
That's
it tastes
very
really
aromatic.
good. When you're mixing it like this though to strain it, it like gets all of that like up in the air and it like gets into your eyes. One time I was making this with Robert and he was helping, and the whole time he was like, "Oh, it smells so good," and then he'd like stick his face in it and he'd be like, "Oh, my eyes!"
So where are these snack spoons?
I think I'm gonna make the tare. If we can get that and your soup, that's gonna be good.
Soy sauce, salt, rice vinegar, sugar, MSG, and then there's one more ingredient that I had to specially buy on Amazon. This stuff is the good stuff. Oh yeah. This is mirin, which is the only Japanese ingredient I could not find at the Asian market. It's basically a sweet cooking wine, and this should be 8% alcohol. There's lower quality stuff, which is basically kind of like sugar syrup with fake mirin flavoring, but this is the real stuff. That's why this was 17 bucks. That smells so good.
It smells pretty good, actually. My throat is burning just from smelling that.
Oh. Oh, that tastes like tamago sushi. Straight up. We're gonna do a shiotare, which is salt based. Oh God. Ow! Who knew making ramen would be so painful? I just got the scale out and there's a tare button. I wonder if Dad bought this knowing that I'd someday use it for this, because honestly, put the thing on, press tare. 70 grams. $15, 25 mils of rice vinegar, 10 grams of sugar, and then like a healthy pinch of MSG. That's like half a pinch. That should be good, I think. So next I want to focus on toppings. I already talked about the al pastor. I'm just going to cook that up in a pan with some oil. But we have some other things too. When we went shopping, we picked up this jicama. One of us is going to chop this up into sticks. I thought nopales would be good, so we got these pickled nopalitos. I was looking for inspiration for toppings, and I saw a ramen bowl with corn kernels. And I've had that in real ramen. It does taste really good. But an idea struck me when I saw the image. I was like, what if those corn kernels were elote flavored? They had the mayonnaise and the chile and everything else,
So I knew instantly, yeah, we're gonna do this. And that I am excited about. So let's get that ready. Last mayo in the whole house. I think it's good for that kind of mayo. And now the star ingredient. This is cotija cheese, which is traditionally put in elote. It's the cheese on the outside. I think cotija, when it's all said and done, it's put on the elote. It's kind of stinky. What do you think?
Maybe, but I don't really care.
I want to share something, but I don't know if it's going to be TMI. When Robert and I... Anyway, I don't blame you if you don't want to add that little anecdote, but that looks pretty popular.
There's a lot of cotija on it.
Okay.
Like a lot. It is good though, I just want to eat it.
Time to cook up the Alpha Store. Oh wow, that's just like the most soulless pineapple I've ever seen. Like a freaking Dementor got to it. Is this literally what it's supposed to look like? Alright, we're about halfway done. Status update. A lot goes into making a bowl of ramen. I don't know, like, how well the Japanese flavors of the tare are going to mix with the chile adobo, but I'm hopeful that this will be a successful experiment. I looked up why you would need to bake baking soda, and apparently it improves the texture and chewiness. Apparently all you have to do is bake this for like an hour. What gives? The color didn't change at all! Dude, we just put it in there so it could get hot for an hour. Ta-da. If you're wondering why I got this, I freaking reached for a thing and it cut my finger. Roll back the clip. Ah! Put a knife in here. Alright, we are ready to make noodles. For the noodles, I've never made fresh noodles before, but I knew that like I really wanted to. Just like in general, make like fresh noodles and stuff. So I bought a pasta maker off Amazon. It came in the mail. Oh, yeah. Works with the KitchenAid. We're gonna see how that works. But I'm excited for that. Never made fresh noodles. I've never bought something so practical. Comes with an extra toothbrush. I've been really needing one. Holy heck. I think they realize how much, gunk gets in your teeth when you eat freaking fettuccine ravioli. Oh yeah, just how I like it. Extreme hard bristles. Yeah, this thing gets like stuck. I swear we're over 100 grams by now. This scale is very unreliable. Ah, geez, now we got the same problem in reverse. 2 grams salt, 2 grams baked baking soda. 2 grams. We can always make more because this isn't it's not gonna be too hard. What the frick?
How did that even happen?
I bumped into the water. Why is there still so much water? Where is it coming from? It's like I wipe it perfectly clean and then it's like more rain. Where is all this water coming from? I'm don't help. Okay. So anyway, once you get this dissolved. Ooh, dry dough. That's an interesting smell. I'm gonna add some yellow food dye to this because a lot of Japanese noodles are dyed yellow. Gotta use the smallest touch. This is gonna stain my hands, no doubt. And now this will be another measure of how thoroughly integrated the dough is. If the color is homogeneous throughout. Okay, it's been like 25 minutes. I've gotten this dough probably as good as it's ever gonna get. Anyway, I hope this isn't awful. It's time to get into this thing. Prepared pasta dough. Pasta should neither be too sticky or fall apart. Well, it's not sticky. It's that simple. But let's try this on the biggest setting. Okay, let's do it half and half.
Hopefully this will knead a little bit as it goes in. Yeah, if I could just put this in like a million times. We made this too yellow, huh?
Yeah, it's like better.
This does, I mean, look at that. That's far more incorporated than what we've been getting. I ended up with these two strips that are about a 4 thickness. I think this goes up to 8. So I'm going to put this on 5. I think that's a pretty good thickness for a noodle. What do you think? Do you think it's time to cut?
I think so.
All right, it's make or break time. I guess if we mess it up, we can just go at it all again.
Do it again, yeah.
And put it in the spaghetti one. Okay, these are very, very brittle. Okay, that looks legit.
Yeah, it does.
9:16. We started at 3:30. There's one more element, and that's the aroma oil. But yeah, that's what we need the chicken skins for. You know, the thing I made in the very beginning of the video. So yeah. Appetizing, right? We also need onion and garlic. So I'll chop that up while we're doing this. Ah! Diced onion and crushed garlic cloves. I don't have nearly as much oil as the guy in the video, but he only needed 2 tablespoons at the end of it. And this is basically that. And to this, I'll add some crushed garlic and a diced onion. This is far less oil, so I'm gonna add far less stuff. Oh no, did it disappear? The onions soak up stuff. This was supposed to infuse in like a puddle of oil. I guess I'll just put this through a strainer and press out all the juice. I used to care that there was mess in the background. Now it's 9:45 and I didn't think I care about that. My freaking voice went out. How much chicken oil can we rescue from this? I'm gonna use every last drop. Believe you me. Oh no! I don't see a single drop. There's not a single drop. I thought at least there'd be some. I have one way I can salvage this. So here is the manteca, the lard. All you need is like a tablespoon, so good healthy dollop right there. This is how we save the day. This actually made proper oil, so well duh. I put lard in it. I must alert Victoria at once. The ramen is ready to assemble. Whoa, hey, welcome back to the video.
Hi.
We're currently rocking 10 p.m. We started at 3:30. I've been working non-stop on this. We need to dilute that in water, and then we're also heating it up at the same time, so that's why we waited until now. I don't have the right, like, strainer thing, but basically what everyone does is they put it in a strainer like this, and they dip this in the boiling water. Just for 90 seconds is all it takes for fresh dough like this. Moment of truth. That should be about 30 seconds past that 1 minute, so I think we're done. Okay, let's assemble the bowl of ramen. Here's our ramen bowl that we bought specifically for the occasion. It's a bit Chinese, but hey, that's okay. Here's the tare. I've seen people put like 2 scoops in. That actually looks good as is. I will not add any more. Chile adobo soup. Here's the aroma oil. The noodles. Okay. Nopalitos. There's not much of a bed to put stuff on in because, look, the noodles aren't very high. Second batch of noodles coming in hot. This is how you build toppings on top of. If we don't have a little brown circle in the middle, technically this is the Italian flag. Let's go ahead and get the elote corn out. We'll add another sprinkle of tahini on top.
Mm-hmm. Just so it pops.
That looks good. Al pastor. Okay.
Is it done?
I think it is.
Wow.
Okay. 7 hours of work. I'm glad I get to finally sit down. My feet were aching. I'm going to start with the broth. At first I thought this is too much seasoning, this is too much flavor. So add a little bit more adobo. It was just a little too much, but I think if I add like that, it does kind of ruin the toppings we have, but it will taste better. That's better. I think that works. It's more Mexican than it is Japanese. And I think that's ideal. For this is supposed to be a Mexican tasting take on ramen. I guess I'll try the nopales. They taste fine. Jicama. That's actually kind of nice. It's kind of like a breather from the other stuff going on. Radish. Same kind of deal. These don't taste bad. They just kind of taste fresh. The elote. It's pretty good. And then al pastor. That works with the broth. I haven't even tried the noodles yet. It does taste a little like ramen. It tastes like a proper noodle. Quite salty when you have a lot. Alright, you can set it up to where we can both try it now, Vitor. Ew, I got a nopalito in mine. It's gross.
Oh, I didn't get any in mine. That's what I'm missing.
Two different complaints. The opposite of each other. Aquí está. Es la última soda.
Gracias.
Es la última soda. Na, na, na. Why are you being annoying? Is that a joke for the video?
Sometimes I do that just for fun. Don't you do that though, and it like feels cool on your tongue?
Oh, it feels awesome. What are you talking about?
Like if you feel.
Oh, it's so cool.
You know when like you're okay. You know when there's like a stream of water and the water pressure is like really high, and you like put your hand and it like sprays out and you like feel it like hitting really hard.
Okay.
You know the feeling? That's kind of what it is when you like suck it in like that. It's similar to that feeling of like the water hitting it and like that sensation.
Really?
That's the best way I can describe it.
Wow, it feels like I'm taking a shower.
Wow, it looks great. Wow, they're great.
Maybe I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
When I do it, I mean, it was a very weird thing to say.
I'll just knows what I'm talking about.
Just in general, like I'm gonna say, like that's a weird parallel to draw.
Oh, baby.
I'll hang my spoon.
Okay, so
I don't care about my interests. I'm just trying to make a Mexican.
Tell us what we should make
Excuse
next
me.
time. Should we make American ramen with Doritos
With
and Mountain
cheeseburgers, with French fries,
Dew? That's French.
with cheeseburgers. Mexican ramen was the whole work that we put into it worth it?
It's pretty good.
Okay, that's that. I thought it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Maybe even.
Personally, I would probably just get the tapatio ramen again instead of making this whole process over again because this was so time consuming.
If you're ever in SoCal, I would recommend going to this place. It's called Ramen. What is it called? It's called Ramen Joe. If you eat at Ramen Joe, do not order Joe's special at 3 a.m. Joe will come out of the stock pot and he will eat you. So it's a Japanese legend. Yeah, and I heard that if Joe, he was going to ask you if he's beautiful or not beautiful, and you have to tell him that he's just average in between. Otherwise, he's going to kill you. If you say he's beautiful or not, he'll straight up. Mm-hmm. He'll take a noodle.
He'll choke you with it. Yeah.
And it's the extra chewy kind. Like, you're not going to break through that. It's also very thick. They can actually order on the menu.
Very glutinous.
It's called the Joe Noose special. It's got fructose.
Okay, I'm tired of this bit.
Thank you, Victoria, for allowing me to use your channel as a
safe place for your ideas.
What is this, like LGBTQ? Like, you gotta have a safe place, safe space?
This is a safe space, guys. I think my heart is combusting. I don't know why.
Okay. Thanks for watching.
Anyways, the video's over. Bye.